Hello, good morning everyone. So today we'll see the distributed file system. It is your fourth one unit, and on this your topic we are going to discuss some important points over here. So in distributed file system we can see file caching schemes are there, file replication and fault tolerance. These are the main topics we have to learn. Okay, so, what is the file caching scheme? First of all, see the contents of your this slideshow or this particular presentation. That is introduction, key decisions of file caching scheme, cache allocation, modification, propagation. Then, first of all, we'll start with introduction. To retain recently accessed file in main memory and repeated access to the same information can be handled locally. Why we are going to do that? To reduce the network traffic. Obviously, to reduce the network traffic or to reduce the access time of each and every time main memory, we are going to use the cache memory. So cache memory is very fastest, smaller memory, and it will easily give you whatever the contents require or whatever information is required, rather than every time you go to main memory we can use the cache memory and you'll get that information from that cache memory. So key decision means what how to implement. In implementation of file caching scheme, one has to make several key decisions like granularity of cache data and cache size, then replacement policy. Obviously, you are using a cache memory means same content will be available in main memory. So that is nothing but the replacement policy that you have to decide. And what type of data should be cached in cache memory, because its size is small, you cannot increase the size of cache memory, so size should be considered, and what data you are going to copy in cache memory, that will be considered. These are the key decisions related to cache memory that we have to discuss. Then cache location, it refers to the place where the cache data is stored. Okay, cache cache data is stored means where you are going to place that cache data, where the cache memory were located, means cache location. Let's assume original location of file is on its server disk. Okay, what we have to assume, original location of file is on its server's disk. Then there are three possible cache locations like server's main memory, client's disk, or client's main memory. In these three locations you can place the cache. Okay, so why there is a need, or what are the possible location and how these are used, and what are the merits and demerits of cache memory location according to location. So you can see here one diagram given, that is client and server, where client is also having its own main memory and server is having also main memory. Both client and server are nothing but your systems. They are having their disk also. So cache memory can be placed in client's main memory, server's main memory, and client disk. So what are the merits and demerits of placing this file into these three of places? So if no caching is there at all, we are not replacing that file into any of the memory, means location. As you can see, one table is given here. So if you can see, if no caching is there, merits are modification, no modification, and demerits, frequent disk access you have to do. That is why network will be very busy, and busy network traffic will be arise because of that. So if you are not doing caching is nothing but copying. You're copying same file to other location to get the easy access. If you are not doing that, means you have to access the disk, frequent disk access you have to do, that is from servers disk, and it will result into busy network traffic. So in server's main memory means one time disk access, easy implementation. Okay, if you put that copy into server main memory, it is one time disk access, easy implementation. But still it is having a busy network traffic, because every time you have to go to a server, every time you want to ask server's main memory access. After that, in client's disk, if you put that copy into client disk, what will one time network access and no size restriction is there because it's a client. But what is the problem? Problem is cache consistency problem, file access semantics, frequent disk access, and this is this will take no, or it will not take a network traffic. Then in client's main memory, if you put that copy into client main memory, then maximum performance, diskless workstation and scalability. But client main memory will get full very easily. So these are the merits and demerits for possible cache locations in file caching for the distributed file system. And some modifications propagations, like you can there are some modification propagation means you are doing some modification in one of the file and that is cached, then that is cache, then what will be the methods or what are the ways you can do that? That is, there are two types, that is write through and delete write. So what is the write through? When new user modifies the cache entry, it is immediately returned to the server. Otherwise, both files may get different, and that is nothing but a problem because same file will be copied from one place to another place. The both copies will be same. If one of the file or copy of the file is updated, then update will be reflected both of the sides. Okay, that is write through. When new user modifies the cache entry, it is immediately returned to the server from original place. Delete write, to decrease the continuous network traffic, write all updates to the server periodically or to write. Means single write operation is efficient than multiple writes. Okay, what happens? Single write operation is efficient than multiple writes. So delete write is nothing but in write through we are going to write every time whenever the changes are there, we are immediately going to reflect that change into server also. But in delete write it is not like that. In delete write we are going to make batches or server make periodically, it will write that particular changes into the original file. I mean single write operation is efficient than the multiple writes because it will reduce the network traffic. That are nothing but the file that are nothing but the propagation or methods to write the cache. Then file replication, to for provide for increased reliability by having independent backups of each file, and enable file access to continue even if one file server is down. Enable file access to continue if one file server is down means what? Why file replication is very helpful? Because one of the file server, suppose your file is located in server disk and it is the original copy, but you have done or you have cached that data or that file into another location also. So if the server is down, that time you can access that file copy from another location. So it is very useful. So it enables the file access to continue if one of the file server is down. Advantages of replication. What are the advantages? Improve performance. How we can improve the performance? By distributing workload among multiple servers. Increase reliability, means copy can be taken from another server if one crashes, right? Improve performance by distributing workload among multiple servers, means workload is not only dependent on only one server, that will be distributed. And increase reliability means you can access that copy from any other place rather than server. So if server crashes, you can easily get that file or recover that file from other place, or the network traffic can be reduced. Availability, by multiple copy of each file on separated different location, so it will be available easily to anyone, and at a time number of persons can or number of users can access that file. So these are the advantages of replication. What are the key issues then? As there are some advantages, obviously there are some key issues in replication. So what are the key issues in replication then? Replication transparency, not transparent to user. Entire process is carried behind programmer's back because it is not seen by a programmer or user that this is the copied or replication is there. Replication transparency, it is not transparent to user. So that is the key issue. And replication methods are there. Some of the methods you have to learn, the replica methods. There are three methods: explicit file replication, lazy file replication using groups. So explicit file replication, what is exactly? Explicit file replication means what? Entire process controlled by programmer, and file process makes file on one server and make multiple copies on servers. Means what? This is a one file and that will be copied. Means process makes file on one server, that is one of the server, and make multiple copies on other servers. Directory server maintain list of all replicas. Directory server maintains all list of all replicas. When file is requested, and any one of these copies can be opened. When file is requested, any one of any one of this copy can be opened. So that is nothing but the explicit file replication. Means one will be copied with the original one. Process makes file on one of the server and it will be copied on other servers. Okay, so all servers will get the copy of that file. That is nothing but the explicit file replication. Then lazy file replication means what? Only one copy on server, only one copy created on server, and server makes replication for other servers. Getting? Only one copy created on server and server makes replication for other servers. Like here you can see the client here created one copy on S2 and S2 will later send or make the copies of that file. System can track all the replicas and retrieve one copy as required. This is known as a lazy file replication because it will that particular copy is not copied at a time all the servers, only one server will get that file and then afterwards server will make the copies to other servers of that file. That's why its name is lazy file replication. Then file replication using group. So what is that? System call is sent to all servers. Okay, that is a call. Then replicas are created when original is met. System call through system call. Replicas are created when original is met. All copies are made at same time. All copies are made at the same time. Not one after another, not later. Means it will call all the servers and replicas are created when original is met or when one of the server is having original file copied, then same time replicas will be sent to all other servers. So this is nothing but all copies are made at the same time. So this is nothing but the file replication using group. As we are sending message to a group at a time, so all recipients are receiving that message, same concept will be implemented here. Then fault tolerance. What do you mean by fault tolerance? There are again two types, stateful and stateless. Stateful is nothing but fault tolerance means it is nothing but how you are handling all these activities if there any problem. So stateful, first one, server maintains information about a file opened by a client. For example, file pointer, what kind of mode, in what kind of mode that file is open, closed, used, written. Okay, so that is nothing but all the states are recognized. Server maintains information about a file opened by a client. Mechanism. On open, the server provides a handle. On open mechanism. What kind of mechanism is there? Then on open, the server provides a handle to the client to use on subsequent operations. Okay, server provides handle. So what is the stateless? Here, stateless means none of the states are recognized or received. Server maintains no information about client access files. Okay, server maintains no information about the client access to files. Mechanism, what kind of mechanism is used then? Each client operation must provide context information for that operation. Each client operation must provide context information for that operation. So this is nothing but the fault tolerance like stateful and stateless, where in stateful we are going to recognize all the activities will be done by the client, whereas in stateless we server maintains no information about the client access to that file. So next one is the stateful services. What are the stateful services then? Information about the file operations are kept in a server during all the file sessions. A communication channel is established between the client and the server when the client explicitly solicits the file opening. A number is used to define the communication channel, then this identifier will be used to perform file operations. To attend its clients server to attend its clients and server, it will make the data from the storage devices to memory, and then there will and then there till the file is closing into memory. So this is the stateful service. This is nothing but your stateful service. And here stateless service, where does not establish the communication channel, there is no necessity for explicit file opening and closing. Before executing file operation, the server will automatically open file and close that file. Each request sent to server must define the desired file. Likewise, if it is a read or write operation is requested, it must contain the post opening and file referring to the respective operation. So this is nothing but the stateless service. Thank you so much.